And then you have a track for culture, good, and a track for disasters, bad.
Or fun. Hey everybody, welcome back to Active Player Network. We are here at Gen Con. I'm here with my friend Mike Young from Plan B Games, and he has another hit from Eggertspiele for us, Era Medieval Age.
Yes, this is the latest, greatest release. It's coming out here at Gen Con, designed by no other than Matt Leacock. You may have heard this guy's name before.
Yeah, maybe just a few times.
He did Roll Through the Ages, Pandemic. No need to name drop, but he's come out with the next latest, greatest thing. So instead of a roll and write, we have a roll and build.
And this is really the first roll and build that there has been.
Yeah, so you see games with different components and different pieces, but this is the first true roll and build and the first of a series.
With this game, it's not just about putting cool models on the board.
Yeah.
It is about managing resources.
Yeah, so this is what this game does really, really well. There's a game within building your own custom die pool. There's a game within managing your resources to make sure you can build cool stuff and continue to expand your country. Each building gives you unique abilities and a little unique power or more unique dice. So there's so many elements, and it just lightly touches each of those, that it creates a unique experience.
So how many players could you potentially have?
Well, in this, it's designed for 1 to 4 players. So there is a solo mode, but really you want to cap out at 4.
With solo mode, how does that feel compared to playing with a group of people?
Unfortunately, it doesn't have the same level of player interaction because there's elements of spite in the game.
Yeah, there's little bits of scorched earth gotcha mentality.
Yeah. There's still some of that built into the solo mode. It's just not the same experience. But the multiplayer mode, I think, truly shines. This is where the most fun happens because you have no idea what treacherous things they're going to be doing.
Absolutely.
To sabotage your efforts.
So tell me a little bit about the different types of dice that you can have, and why you might want to use your resources once you have them to acquire those buildings and the dice that go along with them.
Right, so here you have the yellow dice, which kind of represents your peasants. These are the folks that are going to be found in the longhouses. These are the most common resources: wood, hammers to build, stone, food. You'll start with a guard tower, which gives you some military might and helps you with the extortion phase of the game, where I can demand resources from my neighbors.
Right.
But
love a good extortion.
Maybe you'll want to peruse the clergy and start building churches, which gives you...
Bring me your finest monk.
And with this, very cool, unique abilities, and you have unique dice with the clergy, and then you have the burghers, which are sort of the bourgeoisie.
Exactly.
Which have much more valuable goods on there. Or more plentiful quantities of the more valuable goods.
Right.
So each one represents a segment of medieval society.
And the feathers, right, allow you some amount of re-rolling.
Right. So if you got one of the clergy dice and you roll, but say I got a really bad roll, I don't want the skull and I can't move it, I can pick up the feather and the skull and re-roll it.
Re-roll together.
And hope to get another one. And now if I get another feather,
you can still
I can re-roll it
So
again.
as many times as you get this feather coming up, you can just keep re-rolling.
So the white dice is quite powerful, and it also has some of your bonus points on here, which is the culture track. Because culture's good. I want a civilization that's smart and
you get bonus points for having the most cultured city.
Yep.
Which is important. I don't know. I feel like I'm from New York. Like, don't listen to me. New York isn't everywhere. It is the center of the world, but that's just me. Tell me a little bit about so we talked about different dice. What are the different types of buildings you can add to your town?
As you build, you can get longhouses, which would give you more yellow dice, or you can go get a townhome, which would give you some of the burgher nobles. You can build more guard towers to give you gray dice. But then you can go to stuff that, like the monastery, that allows you to re-roll a die result if you didn't like it. Or you can get a cathedral, which is going to give you rewards for having more dice in your pool at the end of the game. So it's a variety of resource generation, like farms will give you extra food, more dice, in-game scoring, or unique abilities.
So we've talked a little bit about what you'll be placing and what you'll be getting to roll, but there's a lot more than that managed on this board all in one place. So can you give us a tour of the board?
Yeah, if we were to have a little bit of anatomy of the board. So the top portion here tracks your resources. We have trade goods, the most valuable of the resources.
Which come from the burger dice.
As well as some gray dice and white dice. You have stone, You have wood. You have food, because obviously people need food
You
to keep on working.
You gotta have it.
If you go down here, we have a round tracker that goes through the different sequences of the turn. And then you have a track for culture, good, and a track for disasters, bad.
Or fun. One of the things I love about this is that we have the turn tracker with this guy here, because when you have a game, if you're new to games that have multiple things that you can do on a turn, this is a good way to track it. And I found playing this that even though I play a lot of games, I really needed to keep my head right.
Yeah.
And it matters whether you lose food before you can use your resources, because you have to feed your population.
Exactly.
And you get more population the more things you buy and expand your city.
I think it just helps keep the sequence of play
Yeah.
there, so if you ever get lost where you are and around, I can quickly reference and I'm back in it.
Absolutely, and especially if you're playing the solo game, that's so important.
Yes.
Because it's all happening in your mind, and you're like, what? Where am I? Or in the case of Medieval Age, when am I? So when can people get their hands on this?
It's going to be in retailers soonish, probably within the next 4 to 6 weeks.
Awesome. And how much does it cost?
$70 is MSRP.
Well, thank you so much, Mike. I always appreciate having you here to talk about everything Eggertspiele and Plan B are up to. We hope to see you next time right here on Active Player Network.